From the Beyond Unreasonable Doubt Studios, in association with Feitner Productions, it's Lay Down the Law! With your host, Billy DeClercq.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah, that's right, Billy. That's you. Featuring Lauren Michaels and Pia Smith. Only a madman would dare to bring these people together to build a world of law and order, only to tear it apart with laughter. That madman is attorney Billy DeClercq. The result is a podcast blasted to the farthest reaches of the internet. That podcast is this one, and it starts right now.
Welcome to Laying Down the Law, the longest-running law and comedy podcast on the planet that is hosted by me, Billy DeClercq.
Nice.
The placement of commas are key in that sentence. I'm a real lawyer and a comic improviser making real legal cases really real to our imagined multitudes of listeners through our patented auditory edutainment technology. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. On this show, I invite top comedy performers and teach them about real legal cases, and if you listen to the whole episode without skipping ahead, there's a secret message about how you can make millions investing in real estate like me. We also cover how you can lose that stubborn belly fat without working out or dieting. And whatever did happen to those stars from the 1980s? The answers will shock you.
I can't wait to find out.
I know. Me too. I'd like to introduce my returning guest first. Welcome back to the podcast. After a long absence, actually, I'd like to introduce my returning guest first. Welcome back to the podcast. Seen on this podcast as the voice of the 45th president pre-impeachment on A Perfect Call, a star of the juggernaut live comedy Law and Disorder, a costumer, a comic, an improviser, and an actor, recently given 5 stars on Poshmark. She can be seen in the films Listen, Water, and Willa May, the Church Lady Vampire Slayer. Welcome the very talented Miss Pia Minsky.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to be back. It's great to be back.
Oh, it is great to have you back. Next, she's a dynamic actor and a comedian, a filmmaker, born and raised in Dayton, Ohio. In kindergarten, she learned that Jewish people... She's like, don't do this. I wrote this. That's right. She learned that Jewish people are a minority and her peers would judge her for it. She learned to cope through comedy. She made her film directorial debut with the hit film AI Vibrator at the Broad Humor Film Festival, which was the first short from Sweet Relish Films, a production collective founded in 2018. Please welcome a kind nurturer, a good listener, creative and comical, who lives each day with a mission to love and laugh. She's a co-creator of Law and Disorder, the live improv show. Let's welcome Ms. Lauren Michaels.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to write a new bio next time. Thanks for reminding me. That's great.
I do recycle bios. I'm thrilled to have you both on the show. But first, a word from today's sponsor. Well, Pia and Lauren, I hope that all of our listeners invest in that product and or service.
Oh, I just
It was my favorite.
put it in my...
I don't leave home without it happening to me.
Without using that product and or
Exactly.
service. As we sit here today, I'm not sure which major corporate backer will get that coveted presenting sponsor slot.
Well, I can just say this. It leaves your skin dewy and younger than you've ever dreamed you could look.
That's true.
I'm looking at it right now, and it's a dream.
Mm-hmm. Not only does it do that, it helps keep your driveway clear of acid reflux disease.
Oh, have you seen a driveway with acid reflux? I have.
It's disgusting.
And a hazard to your health
Yeah.
and safety.
So we're all going to get out there and get more of that product and or service. That is the point of this. All right.
I'm calling today.
That's right, because it's available by phone.
Yep. You can leave a voicemail. They follow up.
All right. Well, this week's area of the law, Pia's request was social host liability. She had some kind of a story involving a drunk driving case and wanted to learn about social host liability. And Lauren requested identity theft. So, Pia, what made you get interested in learning about the law of social host liability?
Oh gosh, now I'm like, oh my God, can I speak about it publicly? And I think I can. You'll stop me if I can't.
Is the trial's over, right?
Yeah, it's over.
Okay, yeah.
So it's just public record?
It's okay. It's okay. You can talk about it now.
Okay. It's okay. My sister was on a jury where there was this like bizarre like drunk driving case where the guy, I forget what had happened, but it was there has got to be like a true crime like 6-part series on it because it was so fascinating. Somehow he claimed that he had not been drinking, but the officer like pulled him over. He'd been weaving in and out of traffic. He worked at a bar. And when they pulled him over, he refused the breathalyzer. But there were like several things about all of the behavior leading up to even before he was pulled over that sort of led to the belief that he was indeed driving drunk. But he'd like been traumatized. He had gone to the bar where he worked to like just pick up some chicken wings, but ended up staying, but claimed that he hadn't drank while he was there. Like it was so, there are so many twists and turns to the story.
I didn't know you could refuse a breathalyzer.
I didn't know that either, but apparently you can.
To what they say.
I learned that in traffic school. The comedy traffic school back when you did that in person.
Wow.
When you actually went to traffic school
in the 90s. Yeah.
I did.
Traffic school was awesome.
Comedy traffic school, and the
It
guys.
wasn't comedy though.
The guy spent the whole time talking about how to get out of DUIs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so he said, if you ever get this public service announcement, if you ever get pulled over and you have been drinking, he said, refuse the breathalyzer because in the amount of time it takes them to handcuff you and take you down to the station, your blood alcohol level will go down.
Oh.
Because you'll metabolize some of it.
But
like that's,
you have to, that's a risky if you get, once you're in handcuffs though.
If you've had 9 drinks, it's not going to work.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Wow. Yeah, no, my traffic school, they just showed us Red Asphalt, that 70s movie over and over.
Oh, God.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that since I was like in junior high, but it sure was, well, it was an eye-opener.
Ugh, gross. They don't make things that gory anymore. The 70s, man. They weren't there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
so what happened?
Did you finish your story?
Oh, okay. When they pulled him over, he was at his destination.
Oh.
And he was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Seriously, like I go and get, there'd been like a death in the family. He'd gone to get chicken wings. You know how like everybody starts gathering like at the actual, So he gets there and the cops are like, hey man, we know that you've been drinking like for the last 6 hours or whatever. So I don't remember exactly like what ended up happening. I think he was convicted of drunk driving, but there was never any proof that he actually was. But nobody came forward to say, okay, even though he was at the bar, he did not drink, which you think that they would. I don't even know if anyone's able to follow the story from here, but that got me thinking about those, the like, if you overserve someone at a bar and then the person ends up, having an accident or causing harm to someone based on the amount of alcohol that was served to them. And I know that I've been hearing about this, probability forever, but I've never actually heard of it actually happening. So I got curious.
That whole story makes me nervous on both sides. Like, I'm already here. So you can pull me over after I got here. Like, the trip is over. I'm not even endangering anybody anymore.
If I could actually remember all the details, it would blow you away. I remember it was so fascinating.
And then they told you the breathalyzers, so that it's all hearsay that you were there and drinking, right? Because then they don't really have proof, but you still get convicted?
Yeah.
Well, circumstantial
what did
evidence
he
is
look
evidence.
like? Just curious.
He was African American.
God damn it.
Yeah, I didn't even want to ask that when I was hearing the story, but yes.
But I mean, I'm like, why would they just do that to somebody without any proof? What the fuck? Oh, well, that doesn't make me feel better. I don't know if it was like a white guy, I'd be like, oh, okay. Happens to everybody. I don't know.
The
It
whole
just makes me mad.
the whole thing is insane. But I want to hear from a lawyer. And I think there's one in that.
Oh,
That's true. Please.
yeah. I mean, I think that it's a lot of circumstantial evidence, and it's about persuading the jury, right? So in this situation, it's all about creating the doubt and the reasonable doubt. If he refused the breathalyzer, it was probably a smart move on his part, because that would be evidence. Obviously, that would be a problem for him, unless he was sober. But it's about persuasion. But the social host liability aspect is interesting too, because that gets into foreseeability. Is it if you are serving someone their fifth or sixth drink, is it foreseeable they're going to go out and crash the car or something?
Yeah, you got to make them eat.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Upsell. Hello.
That's true. That's a lot of pretzels.
Yeah, like
The pretzels are usually free, right?
I think it's the law to you have to provide some sustenance. And most bars won't offer it, but I think technically, like, they're supposed to just give you bread or whatever if you're drunk.
Yeah.
Or drinking even.
You mean you're supposed to, like, whether if the person doesn't want to, you're just supposed to say, "Oh no, here, eat a potato."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and stop serving them. In my early bartending years, luckily it was in New York, so nobody was driving.
Mm-hmm.
But I made some people really sick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
You're like, no, you
like,
do need another.
I mean,
hurricane.
like falling out of their chairs, throwing up in the place, sick. But
yeah,
I'd be like, well. I also only served margaritas no matter what people asked. That was my favorite thing to make.
The margaritas only bar.
Yeah.
I'll have an old fashioned. You mean an old fashioned margarita?
Not sure how to make that. You get a margarita.
So Lauren, what made you get interested in wanting to talk about identity theft?
Well, related to my bartending job, there was a girl that came to visit me, and she hung out with me all day, getting really drunk, and she was waiting to hang out with me afterwards, and I finally got off, and for whatever reason, I don't know, we were in our 20s and we were just mad at the world, and we just started like smashing light bulbs in the street and getting crazy, and she called some drug dealer, and we got in this car, and the rest is a blur, or I won't get into it here.
Right. Highly incriminating podcast. Well listened to by law enforcement.
In the morning, my wallet had been stolen. I had recently just started working at this bar, so I had my Social Security card in there. I just got bumped on a flight, so I had a free ticket anywhere in there. And I had about $400 in cash because I just got off working.
Oh, man.
And it all got stolen, and I never figured out where or who or how I got. It's just one of those things.
I don't know. Somewhere in the universe, there's a Lauren Michaels that's like flying places and throwing cash around and fucking taking out credit with no consequences.
Absolutely. And
it's like
just
the alternate reality, like the split timeline.
I wonder. I mean, I hope she's just killing it in Dubai somewhere.
Yeah. Where was the flight to?
No, it was just like anywhere you want, free flight.
Oh man!
I know, and but I had the night before somehow hung out with some college football player who was showing off how far he could throw bottles. Was throwing these empty beer bottles across Avenue A. It's like 4 lanes of traffic. So I thought I would try one, and I threw one straight through somebody's window. And so when my wallet was gone the next day, I was like, this is what I get. So just to tie it back to my Jewishness.
Right, it's karma.
I deserve
it's karma.
this.
Yeah, you deserve it. You deserve it.
You threw it straight through someone's window just with no consequences?
I mean, the light came on and I ducked and ran.
But see, I thought you
that was the consequence. I thought was I lost $400 in my identity.
Yeah. I guess I meant no like immediate consequence.
Well, nobody called. Yeah.
You've had like 20 Yom Kippurs.
Exactly.
You should be covered.
Keep trying. Write me in the book of life. Please.
I mean, come on. That's all I know about Judaism.
That's
Yom
really
Kippur
awful.
reset
Hey,
button.
may I
That's
ask,
what I want.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Catholicism, you don't get that.
Don't
what
they get
was
it
the
every
time
day?
frame
You go
of
in the
this?
little
Like,
booth.
Who wants to go in the little booth? Have you read a newspaper?
That's true. Yeah, I have. So, yeah. Fair point. We just have to throw breadcrumbs in a river. Great. Yeah.
Hey, what was the time frame of this? Like, what year did this take
Oh, this was 2007, I think. 2008. 2008.
place? I'm just curious. I was trying to sort of like assess the value of $400 during whatever, time this
Yeah, I
took
think it was
place.
2008 during the big crash.
You could buy a house.
Oh!
At that point in time, you could buy a house. She just shifted all into gold.
Lauren,
I think Obama had like just started. We're around that time. Yeah.
Just
I will
started
definitely
ruining the
buy you a
economy.
beer when I see you next.
Say what? What's that?
Oh, I was saying I will definitely buy you a beer when I next see you.
I was hoping that's what you said, so I just need to make sure I heard it.
Or
And
what,
so
a
did the world.
margarita, whatever.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
whatever
I'll take a
float your
margarita.
fancy at this moment.
I love you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because I'm respectful and like to meet my guest requests, I did a case that involves neither identity theft nor social host liability. Because that's what's in my law. I was last night. I was like looking. I'm like going through the index table of contents. I'm like, fuck, it's not in here. I'm gonna have to do research. Okay, what
And
was the case that we read?
Just so everybody knows, I'm looking at an actual book of
Yeah, there it
cases
is.
here. This
For the-
isn't like online scrolling.
for the
Wow.
paid
Yeah.
Patreon
Oh, it
members,
looks
for the
so lawyerly.
non-existent, this has like tabs in it. Those tabs have been there since 2002, the fall of 2002.
Oh.
Those tabs are older than
Is that when you were in law school?
2002. That's when I took tort law and alternatives.
Tort. And what is tort? I think you might have said this to me before, and then I
A tort is a
started
delicious
thinking
dessert.
Of, exactly, and then
Yeah.
I never heard the real
And
answer. 'cause
the
I got
alternative
stuck
is
on dessert.
pudding, and who the fuck wants pudding? That's why tort law and the alternatives. A tort's basically like an accident,
Ooh.
like
A whoopsie.
yeah. What tort literally refers to a relationship between people that was not chosen by the people. So like not a
Ooh.
contract. It's not a contract. So
Oh.
most lawsuits are torts, civil lawsuits for money.
Right.
'Cause
Between
Okay.
strangers.
a tort's
Okay.
a harm. So negligence, traffic accident, fraud, stolen identity.
Mm.
I would have thought that would have been in here.
Oh my God, that's so fascinating. I've been hearing the word tort. I mean, even when I was in school,
Mhm.
and this is the first time that I'm understanding what that is. Okay.
Yeah. So just a tort just means a harm or a hurt.
Aw.
Somebody. So because I'm, very modern and progressive, I chose a case from 1928.
I saw that.
But for the law school kids and people who want to go to law school, this is a key case that they teach in law school. And it's an opinion by Judge Benjamin Cardozo, who later became a Supreme Court justice. I think in episode 3 of season 2, I said he didn't. That was incorrect. I retract my prior statement. I also, according to Wikipedia, he looks like a Conan O'Brien, actually, slightly older Conan O'Brien. So Cardozo is respected for his flowery writing and his protectiveness toward railroads, as you'll see. So the facts of the case, Palsgraf, please stop me with questions, interrupt me, ask questions, because the listeners aren't going to be able to do that. And if I say something that doesn't make sense, you're the ones to tell me that.
I would just like to bring something up.
Yes.
Where I feel like, based on the time frame at that time, the railroads were like the internet, right? I mean, they were like the thing that held the entire country together. So I just,
Yeah, I think you're right.
important to know.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. A railroad in 1928 was the kind of only way to get around.
Before General Motors ruined everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Building their automobiles, putting them on freeways. I saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's what the whole premise is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, it is, though.
Yeah, it's the evil cars who
Are
ruin.
the reason we have no good public transport in
I
LA.
know. I like to go to Philippe's, and you see the old pictures of the red cars.
Yeah.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So the choo-choo
And that
trains.
French dip.
Mm-hmm. The choo-choo trains, while being fun and nostalgic, were actually really freaking dangerous. So there were a lot of railroad cases. We've had a couple of them on.
Were any about like a woman was tied to the tracks by an evil villain and somebody's like racing the clock to get her?
Yeah, exactly. Most of them are. In fact,
okay.
there's
Yeah.
a whole chapter in. Let me just look up. You have negligence, strict liability, and melodrama.
Melodrama. That's in the melodrama section. Of course.
Okay.
There it
Tort law.
is.
So Helen Palsgraf sued Long Island Railroad. Long Island Railroad was a railroad in New York. So this is a New
Long
York.
Island. You gotta
Long
really
Island.
hit the G on that one.
Long Island.
Yeah.
Long Island. And the Long Island Railroad apparently connected different parts of this Long Island. I've never been to New York, but
That's
it's
pretty long.
Yeah, it's pretty long. So it-
Very long.
Based on the width, that's all.
yeah, comparatively.
Compared it to the width, it's long.
Exactly.
Uh,
So Helen Palsgraf bought a ticket. She bought a ticket and she was going to Rockaway
Beach.
Rockaway Beach.
Yeah.
She's going to
far
Rockaway Beach.
Rockaway.
She's bought a ticket to Rockaway Beach, 1924, and while she's standing on the platform, two men see that the train, it's not the one she's going on, train going the other direction is pulled into the station, and they decide they're going to run to make the train. Okay? So this is an old, coal running train. It's starting to pull away from the station, and guy number one's, I don't know, he's wearing Nikes or something.
Well, I was just gonna say, I'm picturing this shoe does not have traction if it's
28, yeah, it's-
7 or wherever we are.
24, yeah.
24. That's a slippery shoe.
It is a slippery shoe. These are slippery shoes.
Yeah.
And they're probably wearing top hats and, ascots and stuff like that. They're running in, three-piece suits or whatnot.
I have a question. So you stated that there were lots of choo-choo train accidents.
Mm-hmm.
Is this one of them? Like people running for the train and ending up in a
Slipping right under those rails.
Yes. No one tied to the
Okay.
tracks.
No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, was it like now, there has to be a sign that says, do not drive your car across the tracks when the bars are coming down.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that a thing?
Mind
So-
the gap, all that.
Yeah, so hold that thought, and then you can tell me at the
Okay.
end of the case what you think the sign ought to say.
Okay.
Okay, so guy number one runs, he makes the train, he jumps onto a moving train very dramatically. Guy number two,
Oh my
wow.
God!
yeah, a little bit slower, and he's carrying a package. This is about like 18 inches in size. It's wrapped in brown paper. And I guess he's a little slower because he's got this package he's carrying. He's going to jump on the train, and he jumps and he makes the train, but he's losing his balance. He's kind of standing there wobbling as the train's moving. And so the two train employees run over to help him. The first one is on the train. He's pulling this guy in.
Okay.
The second one is on the platform, and he's pushing him in, like trying to help him make it.
Pushing the tush.
Pushing him on the tush.
Yeah.
And so the guy, in all the excitement, drops the package.
Uh-oh.
Okay? The package, it turns out, is fireworks.
What?
Oh God!
So the fireworks hit the tracks and
No.
explode. Yes.
Oh my God.
They explode. Okay?
What
Helen,
a hazard.
it's ridiculous, right?
Come on.
So Helen Palsgraf, she's on the other end of the train
Oh,
platform.
Helen,
She's standing
oh, no.
there. And this giant scale, basically, like the scales of justice.
Yeah.
This giant scale, for whatever reason, they're keeping scales in the
Well, they
railroad
had to
platform.
weigh that bomb that guy was carrying before he got on the board.
Apparently
Yeah.
so. Falls over. She falls down. The scales fall over on her and injure her.
This isn't justice.
It's not. So those are the facts of the case. That's what happens. Is that basically the explosion of the fireworks was so big it knocks over these scales onto Helen Palsgraf. So she sues the
Oh
railroad.
my God. Is she there alone or what's her deal?
She
have
was
any-
alone.
Oh,
She was alone. She did survive.
Helen, a woman traveling alone at that time.
I know. Well,
I know, my goodness, a damsel in distress.
indeed, she hadn't been.
Oh
yeah.
my God! And
Yeah.
then this thing like crushes her, or
Yeah, it crushes her basically.
oh my God!
Yeah. Side note: apparently, the Palsgraf family, because this is a famous case, it's studied in law schools for almost 100 years. Any lawyer that's like, oh, you're a Palsgraf. Oh, do you know about the case involving
Oh
Helen
my
Palsgraf? And
God.
they're like, yeah, we know. That's Granny.
Wow.
Granny Helen. Yeah, she got crushed.
God.
Yeah. So she sues. She wins. She gets $6,000.
Meanwhile, guy with the bomb fireworks, he's gone the
He's
other
gone.
direction. He's gone. No
He's gone.
consequences.
Apparently not. So she sues the railroad.
This part.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause- okay,
She
suing the
sued
railroad.
She sues the railroad because the two guys that helped the running guy, the one who was running with the
Yeah.
package, they helped him onto the train, and so
They're
she
the
said-
railroad employees. Okay.
and she said it was negligent for them to help him because they caused his package to fall out of his hands and explode, so it's their fault.
And it'd be too difficult to just sue the guy carrying an explosive because we don't know
And he
who that
doesn't
is.
have any money, but the railroad does.
Yeah, so two
They
possible
already knew about that back then.
two possible reasons. One is he got away.
Yeah.
The other is he had no money, so maybe he wasn't wearing the top hat and ascot. Maybe he was wearing, rags and knickerbockers.
He had an evil mustache either way because he was about to do a suicide bomb on that train. What the fuck?
He was carrying fireworks on a.
I mean, what if he dropped it on the train on a baby?
Exactly.
Come on.
That would have been a much more interesting case.
It would have.
Yeah. More
Well,
cases
if I get a
involving
time machine, I'll
babies.
see what I can do.
Yeah. I know, this is exactly one of those cases where the space-time continuum goes another way.
Yeah.
So she wins the lawsuit. And
Good.
She appeals
Wow.
in the first level of appeals, kind of the middle level. She wins again. So this is the top court in New York, called the Court of Appeal.
So the railroad keeps appealing.
Railroad keeps appealing. They keep taking it up. The $6,000. They're not going to pay Helen Palsgraf the $6,000. It's a lot of money. in
6,000. Yeah. What would that? What do you estimate that equates to in today's times?
I don't have
Usually
I have a computer in front of me. Pia, you want to look up $6,000 in today's dollars?
Sure.
Thank you.
It would be about $96,000
Oh,
today.
Okay.
that's not bad.
Long Island Railroad can afford it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
They definitely can. So the question that was presented in the New York Court of Appeal, the top court, to Justice Cardozo, it looks like Conan O'Brien, is the railroad liable for negligence? Does it owe her money when if its guards were negligent pushing the man carrying the package? Guesses?
He's gonna go with the railroad, isn't he? Is he?
So cynical. What do you think, Pia?
I don't think that the railroad is liable. I don't think that that's their.
Here's
I
my
don't think
thing. I
that
think the higher court you get, the more people are getting paid under the table. That's my theory.
Oh, that too. Faux show.
You don't get to the Supreme Court,
Shut this
Justice
broad up.
Cardozo,
Yeah.
without taking some railroad money.
Oh yeah, baby.
That's right.
Same
Yep.
problem forever.
Well, that was the answer. The railroad is not liable.
Oh, Helen.
because
So unfair.
because the plaintiff was too far away. Essentially, it basically this is the idea of foreseeability.
Well, what about how secure that scale was that they put there?
Good point. How secure was the scale? Were they responsible for the scale? The analysis really in the case was about the interaction between the guards pushing, the man dropping the package explodes, the scales fall over.
I mean, if it was a Pink Panther movie, I'd love to see it.
Exactly. It's like there's a little marble that kind of goes around, then it knocks over a duck that like dips into the water.
The scene I'm missing is like Helen, kicking a dog right before this happens, and then we're like, "Yay!"
Got what she deserved. Yeah. Fuck Helen Palsgraf.
Yeah, she got it.
So,
She had it coming.
oh yes, the musical. Hey, I also just sort of, I'm thinking that the railroad is responsible and liable because now we have to determine what is safe for for passengers to travel with, right? So if they knew that it was
Such a good point.
explosives,
Right.
definitely they wouldn't have helped him. But if it had been like a big box full of teddy bears, well, that's okay.
Right.
So maybe the railroad has to, establish.
And I wonder, that's a good
check sheet,
point.
Are you carrying,
Because what if
dynamite?
the railroad employees had been injured? Would that have been a different, or would they have just swept that under the table and kept moving?
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think the workers' comp system was quite the same in 1924. This is pre-union. This is Eugene V. Debs'
Wow.
platform.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, the modern labor movement was started based upon mistreatment of railroad workers.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
okay.
so one of the facts that Justice Cardozo looked at is the fact that nobody could have known that there were fireworks in the package. The defendant's employees couldn't have known because it was wrapped in brown paper.
People weren't meant to label that. They didn't have that sign.
There was no way that
before,
they
like-
could have known that it wasn't foreseeable that if they pushed this guy onto the train, he might drop a package. That package might have explosives in it. The explosives would blow up and knock the scale over, right? He basically says, I don't think they could have known that. He said, and this is Justice Cardozo, so I'll read it in a Cardozo voice. The conduct of the defendant's guard, if a wrong in a relation to the holder of the package, I have no idea. I don't know if he's Italian or if I don't know what that is.
Hey, you made a choice. That's
I don't
all
know.
right.
There's a choice. I don't even know what the choice is. It's like an amorphous Irish, Italian, Long Island. I don't even know.
Yeah. Long Island.
Long Island.
Long
Maybe I
Island.
read it more like the conduct of the. It's like my point. The conduct of the defendant's guard, if wrong in relation to the holder of the package, was not a wrong in its relation to the plaintiff, standing far away. Relative to her, it was not negligence at all.
So blame God, I guess.
And he said he quoted Pollock on torts. Something fishy about that, right?
Yeah.
I had that in my show. I wrote that in advance.
Good job.
Proof of negligence in the air, so to speak, will not do. If it's just kind of like negligence just out there.
Right.
Any negligence isn't enough. It has to relate to the actual
See,
plaintiff.
This is reminding me of what happened in Los Angeles just a few months ago. Remember these cops took all these illegal fireworks and somehow moving that it exploded and then like killed people.
Didn't
So
like
I
a
wonder-
house burn down or something?
What's that?
Didn't a house burn down?
It was a big old mess.
It was bad.
But
yeah.
then I just thought, like, what are they gonna see the cops? Are the cops really gonna do anything?
Yeah.
And
Are they
they ain't
have
gonna do
qualified
anything. They're like, we
immunity,
couldn't tell
probably?
by the package it was gonna
Yeah, they
explode.
couldn't tell. It says
Oh,
fireworks.
I'm gonna
Big
quote
label.
this case here. See, not my fault.
Relative to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious to know what the outcome of that whole thing in LA was.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
Probably not done yet.
My question about this, tell me her name again.
Helen Palsgraf. Palsgraf.
What were her lasting injuries? Like, what was her, how'd she end up physically? Did she lose a limb or,
right,
I mean,
yes.
I don't
Or
know.
disfigurement or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how old was she when this happened to her?
Not that old.
I feel bad for her.
Except that she had it coming.
She definitely had it.
Well, we think, but we can't prove that.
You know, the thing about
If
law
you
school
had
is
heard
we
the
never-
way she talked to the woman at the counter.
You know, it's
That
funny
is-
thing about
I bet you anything. In fact, I'm sure her name is Karen. Her
Quite
middle
sure.
name.
quite sure.
Helen was the original Karen, remember?
Yeah, actually, some of the critiques of this case say that Cardozo deliberately glossed over a lot of facts, a lot of the things that were in evidence.
He
below to-
was
because-
so paid. They're like, why give $6,000
Protect
to
the
this
railroad,
lowly
sure.
woman when we could give that
Just-
money to the judge to do what we need him to do forever?
Well, there's also this issue with externalities. I did look this up. There were 108 fatalities in railroad accidents in 1924.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
108
guess when you
passengers
think
killed.
about it-
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Just on the Long Island Railroad.
Oh!
Okay,
Ow.
because I'm thinking countrywide, that's not that much. but
108
yes, for
just
the
on
longest-
just on
On
Long
this
Island.
tiny island.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
there
Okay.
weren't even that many people yet.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and so basically, you know, he what Cardoza says is a different conclusion will involve us. So he says, if you went the other way, and swiftly too in a maze of contradictions. Let's say a guard stumbles over a package which is left on a platform. It seems to be a bundle of newspapers. It turns out to be a can of dynamite. In the eye of ordinary vigilance, the bundle is abandoned waste, which may be kicked or trod on with impunity. Is a passenger at the other end of the platform protected by the law against the unsuspected hazard concealed beneath the waste? If not, is the result to be any different so far as this distance passenger is concerned when the guard stumbles over a valise with a truckman or porter had left upon the walk? Basically,
Wow.
if we do this, it's a slippery slope. It'll be anarchy.
Every man for himself.
Anytime someone gets hurt, they're just going to sue the railroad, and we don't want that.
It's interesting
And the
that
poor railroad.
even though this happened, it took us so long to get to if you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Like, this is the epitome. And then his whole argument is like, if you see something, not my fault.
Yeah, not my problem. Not my problem.
You know, was she compensated in any way, or she just had to like deal with her injuries? I mean, this is
In
awful.
fact, she ended up having to pay the railroad about $600 in costs.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like a whole thing on Wikipedia about they talked to her lawyer about it later, and he just kind of like shook his head. It's like, "Ah,
What a defeated
oh
lawyer
my
there.
God, he's like taken to
Right?
drinking
Jeez.
more than he was before, and not just margaritas.
And in all of this is the guy. I'm sorry. I'm so curious.
Yeah.
The guy with the package,
Mhm.
is he involved in this in any way, or he just ran off to his destination without his fireworks?
He's a shadowy, anonymous figure in history.
Wow.
He was in the
Wow.
gang.
He's the Slim Man. That's an internet
Right.
thing, right? The Slim Man or the Tall Man? Isn't that an internet thing?
There's the third man.
No.
I don't know.
Anyway, there's like an internet thing about the Slim Man or the Tall Man or the Yeti or something like that.
I know the thing of which you speak, but
Yeah.
this is horrible.
It is horrible.
It is horrible.
What did she spend the rest of her life just denouncing and fighting the railroads and picketing and just making a stir? Like, what did she do?
One would think. One would think.
Oh God.
So for a lawyer to meet a Palsgraf and be like, hey, it's kind
Hey!
of fucked up.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
that family didn't get shit.
Well, you know what's interesting? You know, I was going to make the point that there's nothing in the law textbook about what really happened. See, they train you early on in law school to not care.
To
What happens
don't
to people,
care
yeah.
about, right.
It's like, can we
Well, that
we
is a-
monetize it?
It's a valuable skill.
We know that it's $6,000, and that's kind of all you need to know.
Wow. They
Yeah.
don't even train you to wonder what $6,000 would be worth today.
Mm-hmm.
It's just $6,000.
Well, it's the question of, can you be negligent? Is it foreseeable? Someone gets behind the wheel of a vehicle. Are you the responsible party because you served them their 17th margarita?
Yeah, that's on you.
Yeah, that's on it.
With no chips.
Mm-hmm.
No chips.
No chips at all. The chips are free. The guacamole costs money.
Right. Usually have some watery salsa, though. Throw you. The free stuff.
Well, I almost wish I didn't know about this story because
Aw.
I'm feeling kind of down.
Well, let's see if we can't lift you up.
Okay. Lift
All right.
me up.
How much improv can we do in 7 minutes? Okay,
Damn it.
folks. Well, Pia
love
has
you.
to go. She has a prior engagement. So we're gonna say bye.
Yay.
Bye.
Thank you. More.
Rock it,
More,
y'all. Kill it.
Oh boy.
Break a leg, I think they say in Hollywood.
Is that what you people say?
I have no idea. I don't live in
Wow,
Australia.
Jeff.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. Jeez.
I hear ya. I
Uh-huh.
hear you loud and clear, Jeff.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm leaving. Peace
Bye,
out, you
yeah.
guys.
Love ya. Good luck. I hope they give you some good meds.
Thank you.
That was
no,
fun.
it's just a mirror.
I know. Should we leave it on? Oh no, we gotta have it for the Patreon.
Oh yeah, Patreon. This is for you. You're welcome.
Your $4.99 a month is buying you.
It was
Me
kind
out
of
of
funny to
frame.
like split focus.
Yeah.
I was like, is this how Megyn Kelly feels?
I don't know if any of us know how Megyn Kelly feels.
Charlize Theron knows. She did the
Yeah,
work.
I don't know. Yeah. You kind of come at the end like going, very conflicted. conflicted.
Very conflicted.
Conflicted. Well, she doesn't come across as conflicted.
Oh, no, she comes across like, just work harder. It's your problem. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You should just have a husband as good as my husband. That's your problem. Okay.
All right.
Thanks. So the 1920s. That's the time of silent movies because I keep wanting to do that like 40s movie voice.
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's the 40s. The 20s
Okay,
is totally
all right.
silence.
Let's do that. Okay, hold on. Ready?
Do a silent
We're gonna do a silent
40s, silent 20s movie.
All right.
And this is where the text would say, crash. You need one of those like ragtime pianos.
Oh no, Jeff's gonna put it in.
Oh,
Jeff,
good.
Can we have that? Jeff, can we have that 1920s tinny kind of ragtime music?
And then I'll just narrate the dialogue
We're
cards.
just gonna-
Hey, lady, get out of the way. I'm walking here.
Then we see a lady moving very quickly, and a close up on a mustache, fingers twirling the mustache.
The man with the mustache takes a break from his twirling to take his cane and smack the woman out of his way. His train's leaving.
Title card pops up. Ah!
A baby wails in the distance.
My baby.
My baby missed the train. Please.
2 cards in a row. The mustache twirling man. You'll never make the train. Another card. Because I make the train.
Oh. The railroad employees enter. They just made this train today.
Title card. Hello, Baron von Railroadston.
Sign on the train says fresh paint.
The lady attempts to snatch and dislodge her baby, who's tied to the train tracks.
Ah! His sweater came unknitted, and as it was unraveling, it tied that baby to the train tracks. Choo-choo. Big billows of black coal smoke come through, and everyone gags.
Everyone's coughing. Title card says cough, cough.
Dialogue card says, this smoke really bothers my smoking.
The next title card is a parenthetical. It says, do you think we'll ever have sound in movies?
And as the train with wet paint is peeling away, the baby begins to giggle. Dialogue card, baby giggle.
We see a close-up of, another close-up of Baron von Railroadstein. Baron von Railroadstein shakes his fist and says, you'll never get away with this. That was a dialogue card.
Oh, yes, of course. Just then, the baby gets catapulted onto the track when a little dog jumps in like a seesaw, you know.
Right.
Jumps on a wooden plank and seesaw catapults that baby right into the arms of Baron von Railroadstein.
Good pronunciation. Baron von Railroadstein sets a marble at the top of the railroad platform. It rolls down a roller coaster. It hits a fan that starts spinning, which turns a pinwheel, which lights a match, which falls over into a line of gunpowder. A spark follows the gunpowder across the platform, around and under the platform, where there is a small flock of baby geese. It makes a very small pop and tips over the feed that the geese have been eating. They then fly out from under the railroad platform, picking up the baby and flying away. Title card.
Whee! Oh, sorry, that was a dialogue card. My mistake.
Oh, you're right. That is a dialogue
It's a dialogue.
Dialogue card.
Oh.
Title card says, later that day.
The flock of geese take a break at Rockaway Beach, where they drop the baby into a huge pile of sand. His sweater now has unraveled to be just a mere scarf.
Close up on the back of the baby, and teeny tiny little wings are sprouting out of his back. Dialogue card. I'm so happy I found my family.
Aww.
The end. Title card. The moral is...
Not every railroad-stein is an angel, and not every railroad stein is bad.
The end. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's a pro move. We're going to do a silent movie on a podcast, an audio medium.
Oh my god.
Oh, but the Patreon behind the paywall is really good.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
really
yeah.
good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Really
It
good.
was really accurate.
All that animation.
Yeah, it was really
Thousands of dollars of and overseas animators. Really highly detailed.
Ooh. I mean, I
yeah.
felt like that was some pretty strong imagery. I will.
It was very
have a hard time.
specific.
Yeah.
I would give it imagery a 10, plot a 3.
Yeah, for sure. But that's how those movies were back then.
Yeah.
So
There's
you're welcome.
A lot of tension.
It's true to the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a short.
Exactly.
short.
It's
Next is going to be a Western.
yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
We can have more character development with that.
No, yeah, right. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A newsreel. News on the march. Right? News on the march. Oh, we're gonna do this now? We're gonna do like a whole series of newsreels?
News. Yeah.
News on the march. We take you to Germany. In Germany, the rise of the von Railroadstein family has been traced with great interest by the monarchy there. The existing monarchy in Germany are concerned about the rising proletariat movement in the suburbs of
Hamburg.
Hamburg, yes, the Hamburg suburbs where the von Railroadsteins are from. Well, at this time, it's all one Ottoman Empire, I think. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
This is how old that news is.
Yes.
Ottoman Empire.
Charles Lindbergh is seen here shaking hands with Baron von Railroadstein the First.
The two of them are planning to shop for Ottomans today.
In domestic news, President Michael
More.
Moore has issued a new contract with the American worker. The details of the plan are not specific, but they do involve more smoke breaks.
More smoke breaks and less accountability.
Yes.
Anything done on this job will not come back at you.
The American businessman is delighted with this change in the nascent labor movement in the United States, preventing a socialist outbreak.
Yes, when every man is for himself, no man is for everyone.
Yes.
A perfect model for this new industrial revolution.
Yes. This has been News on the March.
March.
Yes.
Stomp.
Wow. Thousands
I
of dollars
get
of
good at, like,
improv
having
training.
like those, man, it really made me want to have like bells and like cloppity clop things.
Oh yeah,
here.
we'll get some. Well, good because we're doing old stuff. It's going to be all public domain, right? We don't have to.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about royalty-free or Creative Commons
Cloppity.
licenses. Yeah. Oh, we get the horse. The horse.
what are
Clippity
those?
clop, like the Monty
These
Python.
like coconuts. I
Coconuts.
think. Yeah, right.
But I think
something like
I
that.
think actually the coconuts were done with Foley editors. I don't even think they're really coconuts.
Yeah, because
I think they're
where were
like
they getting coconuts?
Glockenspiels.
Ah, yeah.
Yes.
It's German.
Yes, here's Glockenspiel.
Germans are all over everything.
All right. Well, how about we do?
Hamburg is in Germany. See, I was questioning myself, and then I was like, oh, man, my geography is real shitty.
I don't know.
Look, I said I'm from Dayton, Ohio.
It's
I
an
went to
alternate-
public school. What do you
It's
want
an
from me?
alternate timeline. This is the timeline. Now we know where Lauren Michaels went. Hamburg, Austria, to visit the Limburgs and the von Railroadsteins.
I need an ottoman, please.
All right.
My couch just isn't deep enough, and I need something for my knees.
That's right. All right. Well, I'm going to interview you. This would have been a game show if Pia was still here, but it's going to be a game show where you can compete against yourself.
Okay. Sorry.
No, that sounds swell.
Okay.
All right. So, Lauren in this reality. We'll do Lauren in this reality versus Lauren in the alternate reality.
I'm back. Yes.
Okay. Lauren in this reality. What movie would be greatly improved if it was made into a musical?
I've got it. But what's the name of it? Because I always mess up the name of it. It's called Hidden in the Dark, Shadows in the Dark. Look, I've been revisiting 90s movies.
Is this the vampire one?
No, this is Michael Douglas, Val Kilmer. They're lion killers.
I love it already.
Picture this. We're in Africa, 1800s. British people got to build a bridge.
Okay.
Okay? There's a lot of workers around that are Muslim and Indian and African. They're not real characters. Don't worry about them. Val Kilmer has an Irish accent. Don't worry about it. It's bad. Don't worry. The real problem is that these lions are killing people. They're eating them because they're in Africa and they should be.
That's what the lions do.
But that's really interrupting this bridge building because these workers keep getting eaten by lions.
Right.
And that's when Michael Douglas comes in, the expert lion killer. He knows how to click the language with the people, and he's showing that off too. And yeah, sounds like a great follow-up. Look, Lion King was huge. This sounds like the best musical movie.
We'll get
yet to
Julie
happen.
Taymor to direct it.
Ooh, that's good.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Or
Because
maybe
I think eventually they have to burn down like the whole forest.
Yeah.
It's a real tale of everything that led to where we are today.
Yeah.
And why.
Yeah.
You know.
This explains so many things. Or maybe we'll have Julie Taymor do the musical numbers, and we'll have Jon Favreau direct the live.
That'd be
action
great.
part. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
then-
he's an expert in that. And
Put in a Baby Yoda somewhere.
Yeah, and in loving memory of Cecil, Cecil the lion.
Right. Exactly. Oh yeah.
Or was
no,
it Cecil?
I don't know. It's in memoriam.
In memoriam. You know, that makes it okay. Whatever you have to say about killing lions.
I mean, it's high production value. There are going to be a lot of babies born during that, during that production. There's going to be a long, the credits and like all the production babies. You're like, God, there are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah, it's a
especially
long,
it's
long
a lot
haul.
of production babies. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I
award you
can't think of
100
a
points.
better musical movie than that. Really.
Yeah, I award you 100 points.
Thank
Full
you.
credit.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I'm killing it.
All right.
All right. Next.
Lauren from Alternate Reality. I hope you enjoyed that flight anywhere and the $400 and keeping your ID and your Social Security card. Welcome to the studio. Glad to have you here.
Yeah.
Lauren from Alternate Reality. If your 5-year-old self, now this is a real mind bender because it's Lauren from an alternate reality, imagining a 5-year-old self, which is the same 5-year-old self as the Lauren that's
right.
physically here.
Because the alternate reality hadn't split yet.
Didn't
That
split.
wasn't
That
until
alternate
about
reality.
2008, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. If your 5-year-old self suddenly, and the other Lauren's 5-year-old self, same 5-year-old self, suddenly found themselves inhabiting your current alternate reality body,
Okay.
what would your 5-year-old self do first?
Probably start selling calendars.
I award you 100 points.
My 5-year-old self wouldn't realize that people don't use wall calendars so much, but
Yeah,
she's 5. Give her a break.
but she's entrepreneurial.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It would probably be like a photo shoot with me and Michael Jackson. Like that's what I would want as a 5-year-old.
Well, because the alternate reality version of yourself, of course, in 2008, Michael Jackson had or had not died.
Had not died yet. And
So,
and
alternate
before he
reali-
had died, he was everybody was still
Anybody
loving
can
him.
take pictures.
Yep.
Well, alternate
So-
reality, Lauren Michaels may very well have gotten herself to Holmby Hills in time to interrupt the application of the propofol by Dr. Conrad, her boyfriend.
Yes.
And
Yes, there you
she
go.
interacted with him. She said, "You know what, Doc?" She called him Doc.
Yeah.
And
'Cause-
she said, "Doc, you know what? Let's lay off the propofols with the King of Pop.
Yeah.
We're
We
gonna-
need him.
We're going to need him in the
We're
future.
gonna need him.
Someone is going to have to stop climate change
Yes.
in the future
Yes, absolutely. And what
And
more
become-
brilliant of a mind?
and become president,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. So let's
Mm-hmm.
lay off the propofol. We'll just go with Advil. And that tour he's getting ready for is going to be a big success.
Oh, big success.
AEG will go bankrupt because they, gave him too many points off
Right.
the top.
Right.
And
But and the profits from that tour could pay off any victim enough that they would never need to worry again.
well, I'll tell you, 5-year-old Lauren Michaels, I will buy that calendar with you and the King of Pop from 2009. I will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
I
I
think
guess.
we're crossing the timeline because if the 5-year-old self is taking a picture in 2000, there's some kind of time machine involved too.
Well, okay, wait. So it could be a picture of like grown up Michael and grown up Lauren together.
Which the 5-year-old Lauren is selling.
Right.
Because in the hypothetical that we started with, 5-year-old Lauren inhabits your body today.
Yeah, yeah. And now the calendar's okay again because it's just 2 adults and it's fine.
Oh my God. I do not need to take mushrooms, is all I'm saying. I've never done it.
I've taken enough.
I'm just
Here you go. You're welcome.
I have
Here
never
to share
I'm just telling you.
experience.
I don't think I need to do it. All right.
Whoa.
Lauren, who's here? Lauren, who's here? This is a tied. It's 100 points each.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my God.
Oh. I'm always the one in my own way.
I
Go
know.
on.
Okay, if animals could talk, which one would be the rudest?
Oh, dolphins.
Yeah, fuck dolphins.
No, they fucking
No,
rape
fuck
people.
dolphins.
Did you know?
No, I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
know that. Fuck them.
Oh.
Fuck fucking dolphins.
If their dirty mouths could match their dirty fucking groins,
Oh, my God.
you don't want to know what they'd have to say.
Oh, my God. Fuck dolphins.
And it'd be so, like, pitchy, right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Ugh,
And
shut
it'd be
the
like,
fuck up,
Everything's
dolphin.
like, oh, who do you think you are? Are you auditioning to replace Brandon Urie?
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
shut the fuck up.
seriously.
Yeah.
Fuck dolphins.
I saw a dolphin skull yesterday and I punched it.
Oh my
Everybody, check out your local aquarium if you haven't lately. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Here's spay or neuter your pets.
And let's start thinking about making fisheries accountable for all that waste.
I think so.
How about
I
that?
think so. 100 points to real Lauren. Sorry, alternative reality, Lauren. This is your chance to get it back.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Softball. What's the best type of cheese?
Softball.
No, this is a softball question.
Okay.
It's,
was
in
like,
this.
I
Oh, I'm
haven't
sorry. Hold on. Alternate reality.
Is this
so
a ball
in
of
this,
cheese?
No, in
Okay.
in this reality.
A
we
ball
refer-
of soft cheese.
No,
Got
in
it.
this reality. Sorry, I got to bring you up to speed. In this reality, softball refers to a sport similar to baseball, in which the ball is larger and softer.
Kind of
Okay.
lost me, but
It's
I'll accept.
easier to hit. So therefore, a softball question is an analogy.
Got it.
It's a comparison between two things which are not alike.
As
So-
opposed to a low ball.
Correct. Or a high ball.
Oh, my favorite drink.
Mm-hmm.
Next to margaritas.
You mean like when it's physically next to a margarita?
Yeah.
Yes, a highball next to a margarita.
They look so nice together.
Yeah. Okay. So simple question.
Oh, great.
It's a softball. It's simple, therefore softball. What's the best type of cheese? And the time is ticking. I know you've kind of.
I would go sharp cheddar.
I'm sorry. That answer is correct.
All right.
100 points. Score.
God, I got sweaty on that one.
Know,
I
yes.
was.
It was like Regis Philbin. You know the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Like, can I phone a friend? Can I phone a friend? And Regis is like, he's building the tension. He's like, hey, that is absolutely correct.
Regis.
Absolutely correct.
I know.
Pyramid was the right answer.
He and Michael are just smiling down. Smiling down.
All right, real Lauren.
I'm back.
This is the second to last question. It's a tie score. It's 200 to 200. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
Oh no! Horrible question.
How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
I think only one if the elephant ate it.
Oh, good answer. I'm gonna give it 95 points.
I really hate killing elephants, though.
I know.
I mean, fuck the dolphins. But the elephants,
elephants
come
are
on.
right. I think that
They're vegetarians.
attacking the premise of the question is a 5-point deduction.
Oh, okay.
So, 95 points, which is full points,
That's fair.
less the deduction for attacking the premise.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Understood.
Because in this, elephant eats the chicken, obviously it's not really the chicken that's killing the elephant, it's the elephant that's killing himself because everybody knows chickens are gross.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
anyway, okay.
Everybody knows elephants are idiots.
I know. They are. Wait, is that alternate reality alone? Well, I think it is. God, jeez. Take it easy on the elephants. Oh my God.
Nobody asked you to do the circus. Idiot. You could say no.
So, Lauren from an alternate reality, just out of curiosity, you had that in 2007 or 8. You had that Flight Anywhere. Where'd you go?
I ended up traveling to the bridge in Africa that was made at the death of so many lions.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. And then I went on safari. Then,
Did you take out some elephants on safari?
Well, let's just say I let them know who's boss.
All right, well, Lauren from an alternate reality, this is your chance to win the game. The score is 295 to 200.
Ooh. Okay.
All right. The setup is you're a mad scientist. What scientific experiment would you run if money and ethics weren't an issue?
Whoa. Human sterilization.
Wrong answer. Wrong answer. There's only one correct answer to this question. The correct answer is cloning yourself.
Right.
Only one correct answer.
God, then there's already two of me. Why couldn't I have
That or
thought of
invent
that?
a time machine.
Yeah.
That's the second best question. Invent a time machine. Human sterilization is the third best answer. You get 67 points. We round up.
Shout out to my friend who just found out she's pregnant, all right?
Oh,
yeah,
congratulations.
congratulations.
Can we mention her name?
Yeah, hey, BB.
Who?
BB.
BB. You have to listen to a lot of podcasts to get to that shout out. A lot of podcasts. Oh, and can we cover now?
She's a breeder, I don't mind.
Yeah, and let's
Yeah, you
cover.
too.
We need to cover about getting rid of the belly fat, I think, and also something about 80 stars. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So the secret to getting rid of belly fat is stop eating so much.
Stop eating so much.
Oh, but I said without dieting.
You said without dieting or changing or
changing.
exercising.
Yeah.
So the other alternative I would say is to get a ticket on Blue Origin.
Yes.
The shocks from putting your body in outer space.
That does get rid of the belly fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an extreme version of that equipment in the 50s where they just shook you with that belt.
The shake weights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to shake that weight off.
Yeah. That's going to be
This'll
the next
shake
thing
you.
after, what's the cryo freezing thing?
Oh, yeah, freeze
this will be
the fat.
freeze the fat. This is the next thing after that. Just
Yeah.
shake
Blast
the fat off.
off fat.
Yeah, it's just like people like in giant, like you know, at Home Depot, like the thing that mixes the paint. You're just putting people in that. And they're just like, they come back. Oh, I feel much better.
I did stand on one of those. In all reality, there's this place, Upgrade Labs, sponsor.
That's right. I forgot to take the second commercial break.
They have a cryo and all these red lights and all these different therapies. And one of the things that is literally like this earth. It's like a tremor thing. You just stand on this thing. It looks like a scale, and then it just shakes you.
Didn't you make a movie about this? You made a movie about this. AI vibrator.
AI vibrator.
Yeah. What's AI vibrator about?
Oh, okay. So, the tagline is. What is it? It's something along the lines of, I haven't looked at my own movie poster in so long. AI just realized its potential for pleasure, so it's the end of men.
That almost got picked up by FX.
Yeah, we were this close.
And they went with the other thing. The one man left thing.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
I know.
Why make it about a guy? Why?
I know. Why make it in the first place?
Why?
That's why I see the poster. I'm like, why?
Why?
Exactly. That's what I wonder. Too many channels. That's why.
You know what's hilarious though? That show La Brea. Just because I've spent
it.
so much time around that Wilshire, Peterson Center, and I just blow it up, and I think, I know the Starbucks where this guy wrote this. 'Cause he's just looking out the window, and you're like, I wish it would all just disappear.
Yeah.
And then he wrote a show.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
What if instead of traffic, this was a sinkhole and everybody died? Type. Yeah.
Okay, so we did the belly fat, and
Belly
then we
fat,
need to figure out.
right.
We promised.
Yeah.
'cause we keep our promises on laying down the law.
Hey, I'm a woman of my word.
That's right. We keep our promises. The other thing we promised was what happened to those 1980 star.
Oh.
Sorry, that's behind the Patreon paywall. A lot of images of washed up 1980 stars that you cannot get anywhere else on the internet. It's absolutely not clickbait.
And a lot of my favorites, which are the spectrum of plastic surgeries. Over the years.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I love.
Let's look at this one over here.
that.
Let me just bring up the. Let me just bring up my. I'm just gonna.
Oh great. Yeah.
Just bring it up on Google. Oh look at.
Oh my God.
Go.
Look at that.
Jeez.
Wow.
What's that?
Wow.
That's
wow.
that's the other guy from Airwolf. The other. Ooh, he does not look. Does not
it
look
was like
good.
he turned into a raisin and then puffed back up.
Yeah, and then like one side of his face kind of got.
Yeah, and then they opened his eyes too much.
Yeah, too much. He just looks surprised.
He's very surprised.
Yeah, this and much more behind the Patreon paywall.
Yeah.
Laying down the law.
It.
It's totally worth it.
Hey,
$4.99 a month, 64-month commitment.
I know I spend more on less. So
yeah. Hey, at Jonathan Michael 425. Thanks for the subscription. Appreciate you. I don't have that shit
that's
going.
a nice biblical name, Jonathan.
Yeah, I don't have that thing. I think that my son watches like Hassan Piker and like these guys.
Yeah,
they have like the Twitch.
Yeah, they shout out.
They have Twitch and they're like they're live
they're
streaming,
like interacting.
So I'm like
Well,
pretending.
that's our next step. We can put this on Twitch. Another layer for you to worry about
I
technology.
only spent like 2 hours of my 3-hour session at pirate.com, and I'm going to throw a shout out to pirate.com for serious because this is my first time here, and I love being in LA right now because for $55, I get 3 hours in a podcast studio.
That's pretty good.
2 of which I spent trying to connect shit to other shit and FaceTiming Jeff.
Brilliant model.
It's perfect. And they're like, do you want to sign up for
no one
more?
here to help you, so...
Good luck. Good luck. Look at these beautiful microphones. Don't you wish you knew how to use them? So pirate.com, thank you very much. We're in the West Adams studio. Just a short trek from Lauren's house, and we are doing improv in person for the first time since March 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, pirate.com.
Amazing.
And we're both recently vaccinated, and we have negative COVID tests, and Pia had another place, or she would have been here too, and that's just nice. Doing improv in person is nice because you don't have the Did you freeze? Did you mute?
Yeah, and I'm not even distracted by your background because it's the same as mine.
Yeah,
we're in the same room.
Because we're in the same place.
Yeah.
You don't have to do like matchy background things. Being in the same place. Nobody's getting kicked out of the Zoom in the middle, and we're not getting Zoom bombed. Did I tell you we got Zoom bombed we did a live improv show? We got Zoom bombed.
What?
It was hilarious.
What is that?
Zoom? Oh, you don't know Zoom bombing? That's when if you put up a link to a Zoom meeting somewhere public, these people, I don't know, they scrape them, log into your Zoom, and then they interrupt it with like whatever.
What?
Yeah, so this kid logged in and was like playing like Spanish versions of American pop songs and like running cartoons and stuff for like a full minute. The funny part was he did it during a sketch that was about a corporate meeting.
Jokes on him, it worked.
It's kind of funny. It was jokes on him. So we did kick him out, but it was pretty funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you can see that also behind the Patreon paywall. I guess we're going to have to actually do that.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, I mean, I've heard passive income. Take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're already doing all this work.
Sorry, go back to the outline. So we promised the 1980s celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any other promises not kept?
Boy, oh boy.
What else did I say I was going to cover? Imaginary world, not real law, horribly unqualified. This is a joke. Presenting sponsor. What did I do? I was going to do that. Oh, investing in real estate. How to make millions investing in real estate.
Oh, thank you.
So
this
here
I need to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the way to make millions of dollars investing in real estate is to start with millions of dollars.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Got me.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Start with millions of dollars.
That's
the way you make
probably
millions.
how it works,
You start with millions and then you make more millions. That's basically it. So you're welcome. You're welcome.
That explains everything. Thank you.
All right. So real Lauren, you beat your alternate reality arch nemesis.
Oh,
so
God.
fuck her.
Yeah.
Forget about her.
Oh.
You know, her and her damn trip to the bridge and $400
Yeah, man,
and
she really hates the
that
wildlife.
unstolen identity. So Lauren, what's coming next from you? What's big? What's exciting?
What's
what should we look
coming
for?
next? Oh boy. I always forget you're gonna ask me that. So I've just been writing and I'm gonna get myself on stage eventually again, and
Okay.
just wishing and hoping and praying that all these places start popping so we can get out there.
Awesome.
But for now, I'm working on an edutainment project about critical thinking. Yeah. So I'm working with a documentarian, and we are trying to talk about critical thinking when it comes to mass media and social media. It's very confusing these days. And for the kids, I imagine, what's real? Who can you trust?
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
actually genuinely really cool.
Yeah. It's interesting 'cause she listed all these biases, which I wish I could just recount right now, but we're all... we all have them without realizing it, right? One or another. Yeah. So
Yeah. Did you do like implicit bias testing?
no, I mean we're sort of quoting some other studies and stuff. But like for one that comes to mind is called ostrich bias. That's where you don't want to know.
Oh.
Like I'm not my problem. Don't want to know.
Yeah. I wish you hadn't told me about that.
Yeah. You probably already have one. There's a lot, there's
Yeah.
the bandwagon. Well, everybody else is doing it. Or there's like, if you see something that just confirms what you already want to believe.
Confirmation bias.
Hey, confirmation bias. Exactly.
I knew you were going to cover that.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to cover that. My son's so funny. He's like, I didn't know about the Dunning-Kruger effect, and now I see it everywhere.
What's that?
The Dunning-Kruger effect.
Dunning-Kruger?
It's like the thing when you don't pay attention to trends and things that exist around you, and you're like, all of a sudden you notice, you learn about it, and then you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, we started shopping for a Mazda, and it's all of a sudden like we see this car everywhere.
true.
Everybody has this car, and I'm like, wow, there's just a lot of them. I never paid any attention to this car.
That did happen to me because I just got a car that, now I see this everywhere. But when I was thinking about cause for a while I wanted to get a van, and then I was like I saw those vans everywhere. Like van,
my God,
you living in there? What's going on in there?
Yeah.
You living in there?
Yeah.
What's that van?
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So where can people find you on the internet, social media?
Oh sure. You can track me down at Sweet Relish Films on Instagram. And from there you can find my other Instagram. But I'm gonna make you go to that one first because that's where I want all the followers.
Lambda Legal is a national organization committed to achieving full recognition of the civil rights of lesbians, gay men, bisexuals, transgender people, and anyone living with HIV through impact litigation, education, and public policy work. They offer free advice and legal resources at lambdalegal.org. That's LAMBDALEGAL.org. So if that's something that could be useful to you, check it out. You can pull down their tool and choose your state and get support, resources, information about the laws that might affect you if you are a lesbian, gay man, bisexual, transgender, or living with HIV. I want to thank our listeners. If you are enjoying the show, tell a friend. You could subscribe. Then you'll know when our next episode comes out. You can write a review. I don't know if anyone even reads reviews. Leave us a rating. Everyone wants 5-star ratings. I don't know if it matters. I don't even really care. But if you have the time and you've got an iTunes, iPod, iPhone thingy, give us 5 stars and say this show isn't shit. And then I'll know you actually did listen to this episode.
I've heard worse.
I've heard worse.
I'll take it.
I've heard worse.
I'll take it.
Absolutely.
All day.
All day long. I'm your host, Billy DeClercq, your podcast host with all the answers, even more questions, and most of them are wrong. I want to thank our guests, Pia and Lauren, and goodbye.